Hey everyone, welcome to Go High Level Workflow Training Part 3. In Part 1 and Part 2, we have covered a lot of stuff regarding Go High Level Workflows, automations. You can watch those videos, link in description. And in Part 3, we hope to cover a few more stuff and a few more advanced things in Go High Level Workflows. At the end of this video, we will look at some best practices that you need to keep in mind when creating automations in Go High Level. So make sure you watch the whole thing. And without further ado, let's get started with our topics for this video. The first one we are going to cover is new lead automation. So it's not just one workflow. We are going to look at what we usually do to handle new leads, to make sure they're being properly nurtured, to make sure they're a part of our sales process. So that's number one. Number two, we are going to cover how conversational AI is used in Go High Level workflows. We know that you can configure them from Go High Level sub-account settings, because the AI agent is there and you can configure it from there without creating any workflows. But we're going to look at some benefits of creating conversation AI flow or the bot through workflows. Next, we are going to look at inbound webhooks that you can use to bring data from other applications. Like if you want to connect Go High Level with other applications, if you want to bring data in from any other application, the technology is called inbound webhooks, and we're going to see how we use it. Next, we're going to look at the wait action into a bit more detail, because we all use wait, but we use wait in a really basic level. I want to make sure that you know everything about wait, the action, so you can use it a bit more efficiently. Then lastly, like I said, we are going to look at the workflow building best practices. Here, I will show you one of my snapshots that have a bunch of workflows, and I just want to show you how I have structured all these things that, properly built an infrastructure in Go High Level. So that's our, these are our topics for this video. Let's get started with the first one. Now we are going to look at new lead automation. So what we do to handle the new leads that come into the system. Basically, whenever a lead gets created through a form submit, through a survey submit, or through webhooks from any other application, we bring leads into Go High Level. What we do is, first of all, we make sure they are in the pipeline. So let's say we have a pipeline called leads. We make sure we have them here and under new leads. We know that a contact gets created whenever a forms is submitted or a survey is submitted in anywhere, but we need to make sure they're a part of our pipeline. We need to get notification, we need to send, we need to add tags, we need to add confirmation to the lead through email or text to say that, okay, we have received your inquiry. So let's get started from the forms. Let's say we have a form here. We are going to look at an example form. Let's say chiropractic. So this is the form we're going to use. For example, we are using this form into our website or our landing page, and this is where they put their initial inquiry in. So we need to create an automation based on this form, right? So we will go back. Let's create a folder real quick. Part 3. There we go. So let's create a workflow called new lead automation. Right, new lead automation. And the trigger, because we are working with that form, the trigger will be whenever the form is submitted. So let's connect that. The trigger will be form submitted, and the form is chiropractic. So whenever that form, that particular form is submitted, we can now use this workflow to perform our automations that we want to perform. Okay, so the first one will be assigned to user, because we need to assign the lead to a user in the system. Let's say we want to, like, this is the salesperson who deals with the sales and nurturing. We want to assign this lead to this person, right? Now there's something you can do, only apply to unassigned contacts. Let's say this lead is already in the system and this lead is already assigned, so it's not a new person that submitted a form. This may be a previous client. In that case, this lead won't be assigned to the new user. The previous assignment will still be in place. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to create or update an opportunity. the opportunity in leads pipeline and in new lead stage. The opportunity name will be contact full name, right? So this is where we are adding them to our sales pipeline, which is really important because that's where all our leads stay. That's where the sales and nurturing happens. Status will be open. It's a really good practice to keep it, to use the status option in GoHighLevel, because open means they're still not, they still haven't become a customer or a client. Won means they have purchased something from us. Lost means they won't purchase anything ever. Abandoned means they have temporarily declined, or they won't buy, or they have ghosted us, but there's a chance that they will buy in the future. So it's really good practice to use the status options. Next thing we are going to do is we are going to tag the lead to filter them later. So we will say form, we can say website form. Let's say that form is installed on the website. That's why we are tagging the lead website form, so we know where they came from, right? You can also use in the creator update opportunity, you can say opportunity source. You can also say that's website form, because that just indicates the source of that. But tags allow you to filter them later. Like if you want to go to the contacts option and want to filter the people who ever came from the form submit on the website, you can do that by tags. Now, next thing we're going to do is send internal notification. So now the notification type could be email notification, which is the in-app or the desktop notifications, which is not really effective. I either go with email or SMS. So let's do SMS this time. To user type, so whom am I sending this notification to? So you can select a particular user from here. There are 2 users in this sub account. That's why it's showing me 2. So let's say I want to send a notification to this user. If you want, you can send notification to a custom number as well. Like let's say I want to send notification to this number. So in that case, you'll just type the number here and say, hi, a new lead has submitted, or hi, someone has submitted website form details. And then here you can send the details, contact full name, right? And then you can say contact email, again, contact phone number. All right, that's a notification you're sending through text to the salesperson or whoever you want to send it to the client in that case. Now we will send an email to the person who submitted the form. Now we can do the company X, that's the name of the company, right? And then you will say, we have your inquiry. That's the subject line. This email is being sent to the lead, whoever submitted the form. So hi, contact first name. This is how we start the email. Thank you for reaching out. We wanted to let you know that we have received your inquiry. Someone from our team will reach out to you shortly. Best regards. Thanks. Okay, perfect. Now that's our new lead automation. Now it's not done yet because there are some other things we need to do. This is the initial bit, right? Now we need to add them to a follow-up sequence. Let's say they had their they put their inquiry in on the form, but we couldn't contact them, or we haven't contacted them yet. They haven't replied to our initial email, or someone from the team hasn't got back. So our goal is, until they get moved here, we send them follow-ups, right? So let's create that follow-up sequence. Let me just do another workflow. We will say new lead follow-up. Now we won't do any trigger for this workflow, because when we created workflow 1, which is the new lead automation, we will add an action to that workflow saying that add them to this workflow. So we are adding to this workflow through another workflow. That's why we don't need a trigger. All we need is first of all a wait step where we will wait for, let's say, 4 hours, right? So we will wait for 4 hours and then we'll send an email. That's our first follow-up. So email follow-up 1. It'll be sent from company X, like the first one, info at company X, right? And then we are waiting for you. And then you'll type the email body, hi. That's just a follow-up. The follow-up will be, hey, you haven't got back to us, or we had a question, please call us, or please email us at or reply to this email, something. So that will be the email body. You'll type it, you can easily do a chat GPT and then find it. Type your email that best suits your business, and that's email follow-up 1, right? We are waiting for them to get back to us. Now we will send the second follow-up after waiting for 1 day. So now after we send the first follow-up, we will wait for 1 day, and then we will just easily copy it from here, and then we will call it email follow-up 2, and this will be the second email we send. Obviously the subject line and the email body will be different. From name from email will be the same. So that's our second follow-up email. Now for third follow-up, we will just copy all actions from here and put it here. So we are waiting for 2 days now for the third follow-up, and that will be our email follow-up 3. So first, after they put their inquiry in, we are waiting for 4 hours, and then we are sending first follow-up. We are waiting for 1 day after that, and then we are sending the second follow-up. We are waiting 2 days. We are sending the third follow-up, and the list keeps on going. You can build like a 20 follow-up sequence, but it totally depends on you. I'm just showing you how the flow is created. Now, how do we add them to this workflow? We simply go to the first workflow, and then at the end of this workflow we call a new action saying add to workflow. This is an action, and we will say new lead follow-up. That's the workflow we created. So we are adding them at the end of this workflow. We are adding them to the new workflow that we just created, which is just basically follow-up. All right, now there's something we need to do. Go back to the second workflow. We will go to settings, and we will enable stop on response, because if they reply, we need to stop on response. We need to just not send anything from this workflow anymore, right? That will stop. Okay, one more workflow needed. If they reply, we need to automatically, because we are still assuming that they are moved here, they are still here in the new leads stage. If they reply, we want them to automatically be moved to this stage, right? Now, in order to do that, we need to create another workflow. We will call this workflow contacted responded. So let's say contacted responded. So what we are checking is if they reply. So customer replied, that's our trigger for this workflow. And what are they replying to? So they are replying to workflow new lead follow-up. So if they are replying to the follow-up workflow, we are updating the pipeline. So update opportunity leads, and then we are moving them to the contacted responded stage. Opportunity name still same. Value, you can assign a value to it, which is the estimated lifetime value. You can figure that out yourself. We are updating the pipeline stage to this. All right, so that's what we are basically doing. Now, one more workflow you can create is like this one basically automatically moves them to the new stage, which is called contacted responded, if they respond to this workflow. All right, your emails will be conversational. Your emails will end with please reply to this email, or please let us know. So they reply. All right, you're asking them to reply. If they reply, you are moving them to the pipeline called contacted responded. But what if someone from the sales team or whoever the salesperson is, what if they move it the lead to contacted or responded stage? In that case, we need to stop sending them automations or any other follow-ups. Let's say they're um, anywhere in between email 2 and 3, and someone called them up, called the lead, and basically they mark it as contacted responded, so they moved that lead to contacted responded. In that case, we need to stop sending them follow-ups, right? So manual move to contacted. So what we are checking here is pipeline stage changed. So here we are checking if someone changed the pipeline stage. All right, so in pipeline leads, and we will say pipeline stage is contacted responded. Basically, someone moved them to contacted responded stage in that pipeline. We need to remove from workflow. We can either say another all workflows except current workflow, or we can say another workflow and then select that workflow, new lead follow-up. That way, if someone moves them to this stage, we remove them from the follow-up workflow, basically not send them any follow-ups anymore. So that's basically a system to handle new leads in GoHighLevel through multiple workflows. That's basically a best practice, you could say, for handling new leads, to make sure they are part of the pipeline, or to make sure all the automations that we can perform through GoHighLevel are being performed. Okay, we've done this one. Now let's move on to the second topic, which is conversational AI in workflows. Now let's go back to our high level account. You can go to settings and you can configure conversational AI in here, right? We all know that, and that's pretty simple to do. Now, what if you could install or you could implement conversational AI in workflows in GoHighLevel? Now, there's one benefit, which is you can do follow-ups. Like if someone messages you in in live chat or in WhatsApp or anywhere where you can implement conversational AI from settings, conversational AI can have the conversation, can carry on with carry on talking with the person. But if the person goes cold, if the person stops replying, then the conversational AI can't really do follow-ups. But through workflows, you can implement a way where you can follow up with the lead. Now we're going to look at how that's done. So let's start a workflow from scratch. Let's say we'll call it conversational AI. Okay, in this example, let's implement the AI bot in Messenger only, or Messenger plus Instagram, right? Let's say we want the bot to talk to the people who messages us in our Facebook page. So we will say customer replied. That's our first trigger. So whenever they have they reply or they send us a message in Facebook Messenger, we can implement the bot. So we can say conversational AI, right? So once you take this, you need to obviously put the advanced mode on, where you can configure a lot of stuff. That's the whole point of using conversational AI in workflows. That's the personality. So this is where you configure the bot's personality, how the bot will react, how the bot will behave with the users, the contacts, right? So this is where you can do your own settings, or you can just dump it on ChatGPT and then ask you, say whatever you want, however you want the bot to behave to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will change it for you. So you can just paste it back here. Instructions is where you become more specific about the behaviors, and like what type of words to choose, what types of what not to say, what to say here. There's already some good examples here, so you can take some ideas from that. But even if you don't change it, it's pretty decent, I'll tell you that. So like this one, keep your response concise and under 20 words, which is pretty pretty efficient. try to mirror the prospect's manner, phrasing, how they talk, which is also really cool. I understand, and instead of I understand, say I see what you mean, which is more, which has a bit more empathy. So that kind of stuff can be done in instructions box, and obviously we've covered personality. Now the question is very important. So what's the first question you want to ask? So I'll say ask the person if wants to book an appointment. So that's the question. Timeout 1 hour, that's fine. The bot will wait for a reply for 1 hour. All right. So channel could be, it's Facebook, because we're dealing with Facebook Messenger here. Bot response limit is, let's say it's 10. So what it does is, if the question is asked and if the question is not answered, probably the person asked another question as an answer, the bot will still keep talking. So that if that keeps on happening, the bot will do that for 10 times until it, until it goes to a condition that says no condition met. So we can say, okay, let's say 7. Wait time in seconds. So that's wait after the bot gets the reply. The bot will wait for 10 seconds and then reply back. So that's the bot configurations. Now you can add a branch called, so we ask them if they want to book an appointment, and then we will say, we will say wants to book. So here the condition will be in human words. We'll say person wants to book an appointment, right? So we have 3 branches now. The first branch will say if no condition met, like the bot will keep on talking, and then it will be 7 times before the no condition met branch executes. If the person does not respond, this is where they come to timeout. And if they want to book, they obviously come here. So if they want to book, we will say Conversational AI appointment booking bot, right? So this is another type of bot where we actually give them the calendar and then, configure the personality, additional instructions, and then all these stuff. But this bot will book them in, right? This bot will actually book them in for a call, for an appointment through this action. This bot won't just send them a link. You can actually send them a link if you want, but it's not no good. So you want to actually book them in for an appointment. So if they time out, what you can do is you can do another conversational AI, right? And then you can configure all these stuff again, like literally just copy and paste it from the first one. It's totally fine. And then say ask follow up with the person because they haven't responded. Okay. And then again, if the person wants to book, person wants to book an appointment. So basically this bot will ask, hey, haven't heard from you for a while, do you still want to book an appointment? Are you still interested? If the person says, okay, I want to book an appointment, the person will, okay, sorry, this will be Facebook. So if they want to book an appointment, we want to basically just do a go to, and we want to send them here. So if they want to book, we don't want to create another action here. We just want to send them that. If they time out again, you can literally do the same thing, right? All right. And now do another go to if they want to book. So we are doing 2 follow-ups. I'll explain the flow to you, so that's not a problem. What happens is if they message us on Messenger, we will send them a message called, hey, do you want to book? And then the bot will keep talking to the person because it's designed to leave 7 messages before going to no condition met, right? So if they don't reply for 1 hour, if they go cold for 1 hour, the bot will go to this phase where this bot will follow up again, right? And if from here, if the person replies and wants to book, then we will send them to appointment booking. If they don't reply for another hour, we will send them the second follow-up. The second follow-up will do the same thing, follow up with the person because they haven't responded. Then we just see if the person again replies and wants to book. If they do want to book, then we send them here. If not, then it's just timeout and it's done. But you get the idea of how it can be used in workflows, where you can do some follow-up, where you can do some other stuff, like if no condition met, what do you want to do? You can do like, you can add them to a pipeline stage where they will be added because the bot couldn't handle their inquiries. Then someone can actually go in, like someone human can go in and then uh, follow up with them automatically, follow up with them to see what their inquiries were, or call them up or text them or whatever. So there are few more customizations obviously you can do if you do it from workflows in GoHighLevel. Now let's look at the third topic, which is inbound webhooks to bring data from other applications. This is not actually a really specific use case. This will change based on the application you're trying to connect GoHighLevel with. So in this example, we will use WordPress, and we will use WordPress forms to connect with GoHighLevel. So basically what we want is, if someone goes on a WordPress website and submits a WordPress form, we want that data to be automatically brought to GoHighLevel. That we are going to see in this video. But inbound webhooks is something that you use to bring data from any type of application. So if that application has an interface where you can put a link to a webhook, and that application can send data through webhook to other application, then you can use inbound webhooks to bring data in from that one to GoHighLevel. We're going to look at an example where we do a workflow called, we will call this workflow WordPress form send data to GHL. Right, so WordPress form send data to GHL. Whenever the WordPress form is submitted, we want to bring that data in automatically to GoHighLevel. So we will do inbound webhook. That's our trigger. So this webhook will be now configured with WordPress. So let's go to a WordPress site I have, just a test website I created a few months ago. So guys, this is our WordPress website we're going to work with in this example. Let's go to pages, and let's go to the contact page, because this page has a form in it. We want, whenever this form is submitted, we want that data to be sent to GoHighLevel. Now let's do that. Let's go to the contact page. Let's go to the form. This is an Elementor form. In WordPress, we usually have Elementor form, Met form. There are WP form, contact form 7. So these are mostly used forms in GoHighLevel through plugins. So we want, if we want, we can configure the webhook with any of these. It's pretty simple, but I'll show you how to do it with Elementor form. So that's the form. We will go to actions after submit. So we will click on this and add a new action called webhook. And as soon as we do that, it gives us a new option to configure the webhook. So we will just simply put that URL we copied from GoHighLevel and hit update. That's literally all we need to do here. Now let's refresh the page, and I will do a test submit. So I'll just say John gmail.com, and then you'll say this is a webhook test. Oh, sorry, this is not email. This is just, so we'll say full name is John, and john@mail.com is the email address, and the phone number is plus. So that's the phone number. So once we do that, we'll do the test, and it'll say your submission was successful. Now we will go back to HighLevel, and now we will say fetch sample request. This request should come through as the data here. As you can see, John Doe, john@mail.com. This is the phone number I submitted. This is a webhook test. So this is the test that I just did, right? Now I will just save trigger. As soon as I do that, it'll ask me to create a contact. Now let's create a contact. So we will go field. This is another action. We are not in the trigger anymore. The trigger is configured, even though it's not shown up for some reason. We will now create the contact through the create contact action, which is being automatically done. So here we will say first name, or I think we can say full name as well. So let's say full name. The full name will be inbound webhook trigger. right? Headers, no, not really headers, sorry. Let me see where I can get it from. I think it's name. Okay, and then we'll say email, inbound webhook trigger, email, phone number. Phone number it is. So let's create a contact, and that's it. Now if we go to contact area, we will go to the form again. Now we've configured it, right? Now the workflow is also live. If we do a test now, it should come through as a contact. So if I do a test now, it should bring the data in automatically to GoHighLevel. Let's see if that's happening. It's taking its time, but let's see. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. So as you can see, the contact was created. There's the first name, last name, email, phone number, and if you look at the attribution source of the contact, it says CRM workflows. Basically, it was created by a workflow. The medium obviously says manual because we used webhooks to create it. So that's how you use inbound webhooks to bring data in from other applications. In this example, WordPress, to bring data to GoHighLevel. Okay, so far we have covered new lead automation, conversational AI, how to use them in workflows. We have also just covered inbound webhooks, how to bring data from other applications. Now let's look at the wait action. Now let's create a workflow called something. We will look at the wait trigger now. So the wait action, not the wait trigger, the wait action is not just a time delay. So it can be used for other applications as well. Let's say you want to you want to create a confirmation and reminder sequence. So in that case, the trigger will be appointment status. Appointment status will be confirmed, right? In calendar, book an appointment, the status will be confirmed. So if someone books an appointment, you can do wait. And here, instead of time delay, what you will do is you will do event appointment time. So you are waiting based on the event appointment time, or the whenever the appointment was booked, based on that. So until then, before 1 day, so by configuring it in this way, we are saying wait 1 day before appointment. This is how you send reminders through wait action. So we are not just waiting for a time delay, we are just waiting for 1 day before the appointment happens. Now you can say email. You can just type an email in quickly to say reminder, your appointment is in 24 hours, right? And then you can type the email. This is the email reminder that goes out to the person who booked an appointment 24 hours before the appointment, right? This is how you configure wait trigger. You can also do overdue. So that whenever you send an invoice, let's say, let's get rid of all these. So we've covered a use case for wait step. Now we will say invoice. So invoice status is sent. We will wait overdue. Wait until before or after invoice due date. So we will wait after 1 day. So wait until 1 day when the invoice is due. So the invoice is due and 1 day has passed. Now you can send them an email saying that, hey, the invoice is due, so please, reminder, please pay the invoice, right? And you can say, hey, it's been 1 day since you haven't, since your invoice is due, so you can pay it here, right? Something like that. So this is also one more use case for wait step. So far we know that wait can be used for time delay, like when a lead comes in, we put wait times, wait until 1 day, wait until 2 day. We can also use it for appointment reminders. We can use it for overdue. There are other use cases like condition, like wait until a condition is met, right? That also can be used like this. So let's get rid of all these. Let's get rid of this one as well. So we send an email or let's say in this, we've been sending emails a lot. Let's say we send an SMS this time, right? Hi, thanks for contacting us. Please reply yes if you are still interested, or to confirm, so we can move on with the next steps. Let's say you're doing like a scheme where you want them to reply yes. We can do wait, the same trigger, wait, contact reply, reply to SMS. So we are waiting for them to reply, and we are waiting for 1 day. So that's also one way to configure the wait step. So we are waiting for them to reply to SMS that we sent for 1 day, right? And then if they reply, what happens? If it times out, if they don't reply in 1 day, what happens? You can do follow-ups if they don't reply to that, right? So this is also one really cool application of wait. Similarly, you can configure wait step for trigger link clicked. Like if you send them an email with a couple of trigger links, if you want to wait until they click on a trigger link, you can also do that. So these are very common uses of wait, and these are very efficient ways of using the wait action in GoHighLevel. Okay, guys, we've covered a lot of things so far. Hopefully, it's been useful. And lastly, what we want to cover is best practices. So in this step, I won't show you anything by implementing workflows. All I want to show you is a snapshot that I've built recently, so I can show you the best practices on structuring or naming or organizing or testing the workflows. So let's go back to my high level account. This is a different account now, as you can see. This is a snapshot which I call disaster recovery. Basically, this snapshot was built for companies who deal with biohazards, hoarding cleanup, or mold remediation, or something like, that's related to disaster recovery. So let's go back to our automations. I want to show you how I have structured, organized these workflows into different folders, or how these workflows are correlated, right? The first one I want to show you is new leads automation. So new lead comes in. What happens is they come through from a form submit or a survey submit, and then I assign them to user, create opportunity, add tags, the usual stuff that we saw at the beginning of this video. And then we send client notifications, we wait 2 minutes, and then add them to another workflow, which is the follow-up. The same thing we did on the beginning of this workflow, right? The follow-up is nothing but a bunch of emails and texts going out, right? And these are the stuff that's going out. Call as well, you can do calls. All right, so if they, by the end of this follow-up sequence, if they don't reply or they don't respond, we move them to abandon stage, right? That's also one thing you can do. If we get a reply from them, we notify the client that someone replied. We need to follow up with them ASAP, right? And then there is a workflow to deal with the contact forms on the website separately. So this is the contact form automation. Pretty similar, like assign to user, create opportunity, add tag, notifications, and then just send them a confirmation saying we've received your inquiry. So that's basically for the contact page. We have a separate automation to deal with the chat widgets. So we install the chat widget on their website, and then we do pretty similar stuff, right? It's nothing rocket science when it comes to GoHighLevel or building an infrastructure through workflows in GoHighLevel. So assign to user, pipelines, contact tags, send internal notification to the user, to the clients. That's new lead automation. We have a few automations for appointment bookings. Like if someone books an inspection, in this case, it's not an appointment. So if they book an inspection from the landing page, we send them. So let's see what we are doing with this. We remove them from the other follow-ups. We add them to another pipeline stage. We notify the client, and then we add them a tag. So based on this tag, or based on the appointment status, we send them the confirmation reminder. I've covered it millions of times on my channel, how to do confirmation reminder workflows. So it's if you want to look at it in more detail, you'll find plenty of videos on my channel. If they cancel, we have a workflow for that as well, to deal with the follow-ups, to book them in again for another inspection, right? So these are the appointment automations. And we have workflows for post-inspection as well. where we send quotes. So we move them to a stage called, or we send them documents from high level. If we send them a document, we move them to, a stage called send quote or send contract or something. Yeah. And then remove them from the other follow-ups, and we wait for 3 days and then follow up if they haven't signed the contract yet. And we move them to document complete, then we move them to closed, right? We have other workflows as well for that. So if they complete the document, if they basically sign the contract, we send them an email saying welcome to the company, we are looking forward to working with you. And then if they are moved to closed, we mark them as one. So if they are moved to the stage closed, we remove opportunity from the leads pipeline and then create an opportunity in the customer's pipeline. Basically, that's what we do if they are closed or if they run, right? And then we wait for 30 days, and through this workflow, we start the Google review automation. So basically, we just add a tag called ask for review. Based on this tag, we add them to the review pipeline. And this is the review pipeline. I don't have to go through this, but this is just a bit of advanced system that I've built to deal with the Google reviews, negative reviews, negative feedbacks. All that stuff is being dealt with through these workflows. So this is the Google review automation pipelines. Google review automation workflows. We have another one for database reactivation. Also, I've covered this multiple times on my channel, so I don't want to go through this again here. But this is just to do a manual drip campaign to, to reactivate the leads that they have, from their previous work. So this is basically how we structure when we create snapshots or when we create automations for any type of company. New leads, then deal with the appointments, deal with whatever happens after appointment before they become a client. And after they become a client, obviously we have Google review automations going out, we have referral automations, we have database reactivation automations, and then if something specific we have to create, we do it in other folders. So we keep them organized this way. This is how you can build systems, no matter how big or how small they are. This is the way to do it, because this is how you can, scale. This is how you can have someone else work on it, which will be pretty readable to them. If they come here in automation, they'll be able to see all these folders and they'll instantly know what's happening in this account. So this is actually the best way to build workflows in GoHighLevel. I hope this video was useful, guys. Again, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I will see you in the next one.